Could it be that the perfect meeting only happens when we're least expecting it? Or is it that fate just loves a good surprise? When I was in LA, I met this perfect guy. I lived in LA for a while. When I was in Oregon, I was dreaming to live in LA for so much. I tried all the means, I tried literally everything I could to move to LA, which it didn't come true. So I decided when I grew up, I would live in a big city in the US and then have the best life. Like all these characters from Gossip Girl, The OC, Sex and the City. Like all these shows, I'm gonna have the crazy, fancy, yet classy life. I got to stay in LA for a while. I actually lived in the studio that sublease studio that one of UCLA students were renting. She was gone for summer vacation, and I'm just gonna take it because I knew I grew up in this Japanese safe bubble, and I knew LA is sketchy, can be a sketchy city. So I wanted to make sure that I live in a right neighborhood. I gotten the conclusion of, okay, I should live on campus, or at least I should live around a big school. That means most of the students live there. You know what students do? Party. And then what happens? Why do they party? They get drunk, they get dumb, and they walk around at night. So those neighborhood becomes the ones that people can get drunk and then dumb and still walk around and still don't die. If you do that in downtown LA, you can't make it home. It's too dangerous. So I thought living on campus would be ideal thing for someone who's never lived in a big city in the US and be sometimes super dumb when she get drunk kind of girl. The first day that I moved, go walk around, I came back and then, shit, where's my house? Sometimes student neighborhood, there's a lot of apartments, a lot of studios, just so many studios, so many apartments are right next to each other. So even though I know the address, it's sometimes really hard to find your very room. Because even this one building has multiple rooms, multiple studios, and then you have to have a certain way to, sometimes you have to go around a certain building to get to your building or something. But anyways, I couldn't find my apartment. I called the girl, but she didn't answer. And then it's summer in LA, it's freaking hot. I was literally walking around for 30 minutes to find where my apartment I couldn't find. Oh my god. No, I'm gonna have a heat stroke and I'm gonna pass out. But the supermarket or wherever I can get water is very far. Probably I had to walk 10 minutes. And I don't have any energy left to do that. So just walking around and trying to find someone to maybe that person can help me find my apartment. And then at the moment I knew that most of the people who were hanging around there are students. So that means they're safe. But anyways, I was walking around and then I found this person. And he's literally a Greek statue. He's on his balcony reading a book, not wearing a shirt. And has this beautiful brown wavy hair and very masculine, very jacked. And he's reading. I didn't have audacity to talk to him. If he wasn't that good looking, it would probably be easier for me to talk to him because I can just ask for help. But I didn't want him to think that I just made up that reason to talk to him. So just another person who is less attractive, less hot, that I can ask for help. Maybe ideally girl, but I couldn't find anyone, so I just walked around another 5 minutes and then I can't find anyone. Let's ask him for help. And I talked to him I'm on the ground and he's on his second or third floor balcony, and I was hey. He looked surprised and yeah, what is this girl talking to me? And I'm hey, I just moved around here. We're supposed to be never, because his apartment was right across my apartment, where my apartment was supposed to be, according to the Google map. Even though I couldn't find it, but anyways, I talked to him, but all the complex is so complicated, and that I can't find my room, and it's been 30 minutes, and I can pass out any minute. But I couldn't ask him for help, because he's that hot, And I'm like, yeah, but I'll look around again. And he was like, yeah, good luck. If you need any help, please let me know. And I was like, yeah, thank you. And then another 5 minutes, I'm like, no, I can't. It's been 40 minutes. I'm dying. And then I went back to him and like, hey, actually it's been 40 minutes. I've been out here. I think I'm having a little bit of T-stroke. And if you're free, if you're not busy, please can you help me find my apartment? And also, can you give me ice cold water? I was like, yeah, sure, come up. It sounds crazy to come up to some stranger's room, but I could tell that he is not dangerous. And I have a very, very strong instinct of telling who you can't trust or who you can trust, who you can like come up to that person's room or you can't. And then he was safe. So anyways, like, thank you so much. And then I came out, like, he offered me water and then like, you can have some rest, with this like very strong AC working. And I'm like, I was almost dead, but you literally saved my life. We start talking and then like, yeah, I'm actually like, I'm in space industry. And he's like, oh really? I actually studied aerospace engineering. I work in one of the space company. And I'm like, really? And then he actually works as a aerospace engineer for a local space company. And I'm like, oh really? Because I studied space engineering too. And he's like, yeah, but I also love fashion. So like when I was in college, instead of I did all the sport, he actually did sports. He was like rowing team. But anyways, like he did the sports, but also he likes fashion. So he designs and he had his own like tiny collections with his friend's help. And they're like, oh wow, he likes fashion. I love fashion. And he was on varsity sports team. I was on a varsity lacrosse team. And he studied space engineering. I studied space engineering. And he's like, happen to be super hot. What is this? Like, it's so fun because that was literally the second day. First morning to night, the first day of my LA experience. And then I already met this like perfect guy. And wow. And he actually had a little bit of British accent because he's from UK. And wow, and then I was like, yeah, do you want to go find your apartment? And I'm like, yeah. And then we looked around for 10 minutes and we couldn't find. And he was like, oh wow, like first I thought like low-key, I thought that you're just hitting on me, lying to just like, I don't know, talk to me or whatever. But like you can't actually find your apartment. And I'm like, yeah. And another 5 minutes, and we finally found it. But like, the path to my apartment was literally in between the bush, like very bushy bush. But if you take a closer look, there's a tiny path, literally like 30 centimeter path. And then if you go in, walk in, it's an adventure. You have to take an adventure. You go in, and then there's another building. And then my room was one of the room in that building. Oh, here. But it's impossible to find, but now I know. So I took a picture, and then like I got to my room, and then oh, good, perfect. And he was like, yeah, I'm glad you found it. Welcome to LA. And yeah, thank you. We exchanged Instagram, and he went back, but he messaged me like, hey, it was so nice meeting you, even though it's such a weird way to meet, and I'm glad that you made it back. And like, if you are free tonight, maybe we can show you around a good restaurants around here. Yeah, sure. That'd be nice. I don't have any friends. Why not? And so we went to this Italian restaurant. Of course, Italian restaurants. I always love pasta. Pasta's my food. So we went to this nice Italian restaurant after we went to this bar. And yeah, it was really fun. And we were talking until like 2 or 3, since we live very close. He walked me home and then said bye. Yeah, 大丈夫です。もう大丈夫なんで。But yeah, that was like a fun story. Oh, and then the next day, he took me out to a Griffith Observatory. That was very fun, but that's another story. I'm gonna make another video for it. But yeah. So, a perfect encounter happens when you least expect.